What's up, people? Alright, so this morning I made a YouTube video. It's going to be up on my page by the time this video drops. It goes into detail about how to get commercial properties using Google, and then how to do like bids, contracts, stuff like that, and then some things to stay away from when it comes to properties, and some things that you can look forward to when you're starting a lawn care business. But I just wanted to make this vlog also because there's a guy on YouTube, him and his son, Countryside Lawn. They are my heroes. So I watch their videos a lot, and they give me the inspiration to start like taking recordings of my days and like what it is that I'm doing on a daily basis. So I'm gonna start doing that today, and at some point in time in the near future I'm probably gonna have to end up buying another battery, because for some reason this Sony that I just bought, which is a really nice Sony, I forgot what it's like, the VZ1 or something like that. I forgot what the name of it was, but anyway, it's a really great camera, but I think the battery on it is only lasts like 25 or 30 minutes, which isn't going to do me any good if I need to do like mowing videos for you guys and show you guys some mowing stuff. But couple of things that I wanted to start doing. Hopefully that I can start doing is I want to start having a protein shake either for lunch or in the morning, and it's already 11 o'clock now. So, and then also I'm going to get some BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, for those of you that don't know what it is, and start having those once a day or twice a day for lunch, just to kind of help me, you know, get the stuff that I'm missing out on. And then also I'm going to try to get some more vegetables into my diet. And to be honest with you, the laziest, easiest way I think is to just get some of the V8 low sodiums. But those are some things that I'm going to start doing as well. We're coming, today is October 17th, 2023. We're coming up on the end of the season. We're starting to get into the leaf cleanups. I'm getting phone calls daily right now for leaf cleanups, and also for quotes for next year. I just put in a huge commercial contract bid last night. I'm waiting to hear back from them tonight. If I do pick that up, that's going to be 6 more locations that I'm going to have for next year. And I already have 17 locations that are going into next year. All the clients that I have now that have already said, yes, you're my guy, we're going to go into next year. I've got 2 accounts that I'm going to be doing some snow removal for this year. Really small, easy driveways. They just want them, like, the sidewalks maintained and some salt thrown down. Other than that, I don't do snow removal. I just found that it wasn't really the right time for me. All the equipment's really expensive. The insurance, the gas, the time away from my family. I just didn't really see it to be something that I was going to do. Maybe next year. I'm not really sure. But there's just so many people out there that I already do snow plowing. So if I have a customer who really wants the snow plowing done, I'll ask one of my buddies to do it for them, and hope that we don't have a really crazy winter. Where is my protein? Oh, here it is. Okay, so protein powder. I got 2 options. I can use water, which is my liquid death, or I can use some milk. I know it tastes better with milk, so I'm just going to do milk. But I was also told that milk's not the best choice because of, I guess, the sugar or whatever. And then there's a lot of people that say you shouldn't drink or eat dairy or whatever. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. One of the things that I've noticed in my diet is a very big lack of protein. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be 8. And it's a little bit too much, but that'll work. Alright, so yeah, a couple of things that I want to start adding into my daily routine. Getting at least one or two things of protein. I know everybody's gonna hash at me in the comment section, so you can't, that's terrible. But this was like 15 bucks at Sam's Club, so shoot me. Pretty sure the serving size is 1 scoop also. Yeah. But I have a hard time eating in the morning. I was told that it's okay not to eat in the morning too. But one thing that I need to start doing is getting some more protein and then also getting some BCAAs. I usually eat one good meal at dinner time, and then in the morning I drink a Monster and like one of these liquid deaths. So I get my water in the morning and I get, you know, my caffeine. But I could just switch and use the coffee pot and have like a cup of coffee or whatever. I only drink the Monsters for the caffeine anyway, and it's super convenient. I just pull it right out of the fridge and it's in my mouth. But the coffee, I gotta, you know, there's a process behind it. But that's what I'm gonna start doing. So, and also I'm gonna try to make more videos for you guys, kind of showing you what it is that I do, how I'm successful, some of the steps that I take. I've already had 2 phone calls this morning for lawn care. I have one new client that I don't normally typically do, but he just called me last night. It was like 5 o'clock and he's told me his lawnmower take a crap on him, and he was wondering if I could give him like one last mow for the season. Chances are if I cut it down to like 3 or 3.5, it probably will be for the last one for the season. Wow, that is delicious. That's Fruity Pebble. That would be the last cut for him. His yard does have a bunch of leaves in it. He asked me if I could bag it all up for him too and then take care of the leaves. So my plan is to get over there, put it on 4, mulch all the leaves down the first time, cut all the grass, and then go back through the second time and then maybe lower it down a little bit and just start picking up all the leaves as much as I can. I have an accelerator on the side of my lawnmower, for those of you that know what that is. I'll show you here in just a minute. But yeah, I usually don't do one-time cuts. And the reason I don't do one-time cuts is it's just not worth it. If I go over to this dude's yard and let's say he wants a one-time cut, it's overgrown, 100 bucks, whatever. I think I'm charging him 75 for this cut. I send a rock through his car window, or I run into the side of his house, or I hit like a well pipe sticking out of the ground that I didn't even see in his property because I don't know his property. I just caused, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of damages, and I either have to pay him cash out of pocket, or now I got to get a hold of my insurance company, and then I got to make an insurance claim, and now you're talking about weeks on end for an insurance claim, or like I said, I got to pay him hundreds of dollars out of pocket and risk the chance of him hopping on Google and saying that I ran through something in his yard or I sent a rock to his window, all for 75 bucks. Not to mention I have to pay for the gas, the time for me to pick up the phone and talk to him, get down his information, set up a date, put him on the schedule, and then, you know, go get his stuff mowed. And then with him, he wants all of his stuff bagged. So now there's another $10 that I have to waste bagging up his grass, or not bagging it, but putting it in my trailer, you know, like I would do a normal cleanup. So it's just not worth it. And then on the other time, people are like, well, you need to charge more. Well, I don't want to charge people more. I want to charge people what I think is a respectable rate. I'm not out to make, you know, I'm not out to retire off of my customers. I'm going to manage my money properly the way that grown-ups should manage their money. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to invest my money. I'm going to put my money into other things that are going to make me more money. I didn't start a lawn care business so that I could just retire from people after 15, 20 years. I started a lawn care business so I could be my own boss because I like cutting lawns. I like talking to people on the phone. I like getting new experiences. I like getting my hands dirty. I like to be outside. So most people are going to be like, well, you should have charged them $300 or $400 for that cut. That's what I would have did. Well, there's a huge difference between what you do and what I do. And there's, you know, you have your way and I have my way. And my way is not to charge people too much money. I like to give back. It doesn't make any sense that if I'm charging this one person 300 times more than what I would charge anybody else just to make a quick buck, but then turn around the next day and offer to buy jerseys for our youth sports team, you know, because I like to help out my community. That shit don't make sense. That's dumb. That's for the birds. That's stupid. If you're somebody who's doing something like that, maybe rethink your process, because that doesn't make any sense. But there's probably a lot of you guys out there who are upcharging and are not spending any time giving your money away or your time away or helping out your neighbor or sponsoring teams or, you know, like donating some money or going to, you know, food banks and buying people food. Like, that's what I do. I love doing that. Giving back to my community is so fun. I love it, especially as a business owner. It looks great on the business and it looks good on us and it makes me feel amazing. So, sorry, I didn't mean to rant there. Probably won't even make the video, but one-time cuts are a no-no. Take it from me. I know what I'm talking about. This isn't my first day cutting grass and getting cash. That's what you grow it and me, or you grow it, we mow it. That's what he says all the time. We're gonna cut this grass and get this cash. Love that dude. So yeah, I'm gonna stay on top of these YouTube videos. I'm gonna show you what I do here in Michigan. I'm hours and hours away from Brian's lawn maintenance, so don't think that we do things similar. My area here is extremely saturated. There's over 100 different lawn care companies in my small town. They're everywhere. They were everywhere when I started. And I'm already #1 on Google in my area or within the top 3. It fluctuates all the time depending on who's getting reviews. I'm solo. I run by myself. I just can't seem to hire somebody and put my business in their hands, because 9 times out of 10 when you hire people, they don't really give a shit what your business does. They just care about getting a paycheck. And then if you do pay them, it's probably not enough. It's never enough. You could literally give them every dime that you make and it's still not enough. A lot of ungrateful people in this world. All right, let's go. I'm gonna take you outside. I gotta hook up my trailer. I did mow yesterday, but believe it or not, an old neighbor of mine that I had who lives, you know, down the street, he goes, would you be interested in possibly buying some firewood? And I was like confused, because, you know, I'm the one that sells the firewood, so why would he be trying to sell me firewood? So he's like, would you be interested in buying some firewood? And I was like, well, maybe. Yeah, what you got in mind? And he goes, well, I just sold my house down the road over here, and actually I have a client who is neighbors with this guy. So I was familiar with what house he was talking about, because I had seen the for sale sign up there every week when I go over there to cut it. And he looks at me, he goes, would you be interested in buying some firewood? And I was like, well, is it hardwood? You know, is it pine or is it hardwood? And he's like, it's all hardwood. I was like, is it split? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, how much is it? And he goes, oh, it's a lot. He said, they're like 4 feet tall and there's like a whole bunch of rows of them. And I'm sitting there thinking, damn, it's probably like at least a cord or something. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll run over there right now. So I dropped my trailer. I followed him over there and we're looking at the wood. And it's over 1.5 cords at least. He just moved and he had to have all his stuff out by this Friday. So he had to have all of his stuff out in the next 4 days. And the people that just bought their house didn't want the wood. So he would have had to take care of it. So I was like, okay, I tell you what. It's nice. It's, you know, it's maybe a cord, a little over a cord, whatever. But I'll give you $75 for it. You know, thinking nothing of it. He looks at me, he goes, no. And I was like, well, to be honest with you, I don't really need it. I got like I got cords sitting in my backyard right now. And he's like, how about 60? I was like, okay, so you just want it gone and you're, you know, paying me to do a service for you. So I was like, hell yeah. And he was like, but can you get it out today or tomorrow? And I was like, absolutely, I'll start loading it up right now. And he's a minute from my house. So that's why my trailer's disconnected, and I thought that was really cool that somebody would stop and offer to give me, you know, I just bought 1.5 cords, which I'm going to show you guys because I'm really excited about it. Because This is why I always do the best I can to help people out. Because you never know when something good's gonna happen to you. The first time I bought a cord of wood, the guy gave me a bunch of crappy, moldy pine wood, and it was not even close to a cord. It was probably a third of a cord, and I paid $220. I got ripped off big time. And then the second time I got ripped off again, the dude sold me a bunch of chunky, crappy, I had maybe a third of a cord of actual burnable firewood. And then this is the other stuff he gave me on top of it. Bunch of chunky, look at that stuff. I can't use any of this crap because it's just junk. It's split ends. There's nothing I could do with it. And I paid $250 for all that. And I found him on Facebook, and he told me, he's always like, oh, it's more than a cord. It's way more than a cord. And I was like, okay, whatever, we'll see. And he got to my house, and he threw it all in the end of my driveway. And then I got home, and I seen what it was, and I seen the pile when I was pulling it. And I was like, dude, that's definitely a cord. And as you can see, it was nowhere near what I wanted. Like that right there, that's about 90% of what the pile was. So I ended up with, like I said, maybe a third of a cord of firewood. $260. I was like, dude, I got ripped off again. And then I finally said, all right, enough. And I went to a landscaping company that I know sells firewood. It's a good friend of mine. And I straight up told him, I was like, dude, how much for me to pick up a cord of firewood, and I'll pick it up and I'll take care of it myself, no delivery. He says, $260. I said, God damn. I said, all right, but at least I got a cord out of it this time, which was awesome. But I paid $260. And then now, this is what I just picked up yesterday. All this. And for reference, so you guys can see, this is up to my, I mean, this is very close to being 4 feet tall, if not 4 feet tall. And as you can tell, it is definitely way more than 8 feet. If I had to guess, I'd say that's about 20 feet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those skids down there, and those skids are about 4 feet apiece. So it's 20 feet, and there's 2 rows of it. It looks like 1, but it's 2. So I definitely got my money's worth. Definitely got $60 worth of firewood. But that just goes to show kindness goes a long way, everybody. I had to suffer the first 3 times I bought a cord of wood, but luckily I got hooked up from that guy. And but yeah, let's get back to lawn care, what we're here for. So I'm going to hook the truck up and the trailer up real quick, but first I'm going to throw in the push mower and get that going and get that loaded up. Also, I had somebody leave me a comment and say something about how to start a lawn care business for like $500 or less. Just to be honest, if you don't already have a truck or an SUV or a car or something to pull or push your mower around, it's not possible with less than $500. There's no way you're gonna be able to buy a truck or a car, and then on top of that, you see that chipmunk? And then on top of that, also get a lawnmower, leaf blower and stuff. But oh, that is one thing I want to show you guys, just for future reference. So my truck has these, I want to say they're 5th wheel attachments, but don't quote me on it. This truck does have the tow package, but I want to tell you guys about those. So these bad mammer jammers make it to where my push mower does not move when I'm driving down the road. So I get to throw my mower in just like that, and it won't move. It'll stay right there. And That mower is battery operated, so it's kind of light, and I don't have to worry about gas or oil or anything when I'm picking it up, throwing it in the back. Also, my accelerator, as you guys can see. So I found out yesterday watching Countryside Lawn, you can buy bigger accelerators, like huge, like twice the size of that. They're, I think they're called jumbos, something like that. But then you can also buy an attachment that goes on the back that makes it even bigger. So I was using that accelerator. I was taking the back of it off, and then I was sliding like a folded up tarp, a burrito, on the back of it, and I was strapping it down with a ratchet strap. This is it right here. Like you can tell, all it was is it was an 8 by 10 foot tarp, and I went along the long edge and then one of the short edges, and I put a bunch of zip ties, and I zip tied it all together like this. And then there's this opening at the on one end right here, and this is the part that you would, and that's the part that you go on the end of the accelerator. But I used it yesterday, and it was probably 3 feet, maybe 3 feet full. Well, anyway, I took it off my tractor and I tried to pull it, and I was like, holy shit, this thing weighs 400 or 500 pounds. So I won't be doing that no more. One way you could use that tarp setup would be on a property where you can dump the leaves on the property, like in the woods or something like that. That way there you can drive the tarp all the way back into the woods, unhook it, drag it over there, and dump it out. But for me, I was at a residential property in a subdivision, and they wanted me to take the leaves away. So when it was 300 or 400 pounds, I was like, well shit, now I have to empty it in my trailer and still have to put my lawnmower in the trailer. So you can see my trailer has got a bunch of leaves in it, because yesterday when I used that torpedo, this tarp, that's what ended up happening. I ended up having to empty it because it was too heavy. I couldn't just pick it up. My thought process was that I was going to fill it up, fold it in half, and then throw it in the bed of my truck, and then put my accelerator on top of it, and then go to the next property and just keep doing that. And then at the end of the day, I was just going to empty it. Well, come to find out, once they get about halfway full, they're about 600 to 800 pounds, so that's not going to work. My wife suggested that I just get a smaller tarp. Maybe instead of like 10 feet long, it's only 4 feet long. And that way there would just be easier to take care of. But I'm thinking that I just get a bigger accelerator and get a bigger extension on the back of it. And then at that point, it's going to be 6 feet long anyway, and 3 feet, squared. So it'll hold a bunch of leaves. And the best part about accelerators is you can put them on and take them off like that. So if you want to pick up some grass clippings, if you want to pick up some leaves, all you gotta do is pull it out of the back of your truck, boom, you're done, you're on your way. And then when you want to take it off, same thing, take it off, open the back end, dump it out, bam, put it back on. It takes 15 seconds. When you're doing that tarp with the strap, there's a whole process. You got to take the ratchet strap off, you got to pull the tarp off, and you got to drag it to wherever you're going, and then you got to somehow maneuver to pick it up. And like, there's no way I could have emptied that tarp in the back of my truck. I would have had to climb in the back of my truck and pull on it and yank on it and tug it and try to get it up into the bed just to flip it over and whatever. With my accelerator, it's super easy. I pull up the side of my truck, open the back, and I'm standing there, I'll just dump it right into the back of my truck. So with the accelerator, you might have to empty it a couple extra times versus the tarp, but it only takes 15 seconds. You're only adding a couple of minutes to your time. But it's the convenience, because also the people that run bagger systems, when you put a bagger system on the back of a Wright Standard ZK or one of your Toros or your Skags or your sit down zero turns, your Cub Cadets, when you put that bagger system on there for the day, chances are it's on there for the day. You're not gonna pull up to a property and put the bagger system on it because you brought it with you, because that property needs to have leaves cleaned up. And then the same thing, you're not gonna, you know, pull up there and be like, well, we don't need the leaf bagger on there, so let's just take it off. Like, who has that kind of time to just put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off? Well, with the accelerator, it's super easy. Like, boom, it's a bagger. Boom, it's a mulcher. Boom, it's a bagger. Boom, it's a mulcher. Because sometimes you just want to mulch up the grass, and sometimes you want to bag it up. I'm going to use the accelerator for today. It's going to take me a little bit longer because I don't have the extension on it, and it's not the big one, but whatever. Well, that could have been bad. I almost wore Crocs to work today. So I'm going to go put my Crocs on, close my door, lock it up, and be right back out.